I think one thing that I personally have really gained from an LLM program is the ability to do research and the ability to become an independent lawyer.
What is the eligibility criteria of this program?
You should have completed, passed, and graduated from your LLB degree to be able to apply for an LLM. I, as a faculty and as an educator, encourage work experience because only when you worked in certain areas of law will you be a little more confident about the area you want to specialize in. So that is something I encourage undergrad students to kind of think about before they apply for an LLM degree, that you should know what you want to specialize in. So that work experience gives you an idea of what you want to do in the rest of your career. So that is encouraged but not mandatory. It's absolutely valid. Students can take the NET exam after this. Students can pursue a PhD after it. The degree that we provide is an LLM degree under the OP Jindal Global University name. So there is absolutely no trouble in students pursuing this LLM program.
So our today's guest is Surabhi Bhandari, the faculty member of OP Jindal Global Law School. She is the gold medalist and she is the expert in mental health laws, intellectual property laws, education and sustainable development goals. She is currently pursuing PhD at Monash University, Australia. So let's have a session with her about the LLM program of OP Jindal Global Law School. Okay, so let's just talk about LLM program.
Yeah.
Please tell us about the LLM program, because I know most of the students don't know about it.
So essentially an LLM program is your next step after you finish your undergraduate LLB degree. And this is usually a 1-year program in India. Some colleges do a 2-year program, but usually it is a 1-year program, whether it's in India or abroad. And the purpose of an LLM program is to specialize in a specific area of law. So how in an undergraduate degree, when it comes to a 3-year LLB or a 5-year BA, BBA, BCom, LLB, you're doing multiple subjects, you're studying multiple areas of law. In an LLM, you narrow down to one specialization and you study branches of that one specific specialization. So this 1-year course is essentially research based. It is based on one particular specialization, and by the end of an LLM, you end up becoming an expert in that one particular area of law. So if you want to pursue that one specific area of law, it's better to pursue an LLM in that area. So that's what your LLM.
Why would you suggest anyone to pursue this program? What is so unique about it?
I think one thing that I personally have really gained from an LLM program is the ability to do research and the ability to become an independent lawyer. While you're studying your LLB, or whether it's a 3-year or 5-year program, you're largely dependent on books. You're largely dependent on what has already been said. But while you study an LLM program, you're actually pushed and encouraged to do independent research, to understand solutions to specific problems, to apply case laws to specific subjects, and also delve deeper into an area of specialization which is also new and upcoming. So let's say I'll give you an example of intellectual property, which is now being pushed into also artificial intelligence. So when I study or when I do an LLM in intellectual property, not only have I covered the basics of copyright, trademarks, and patents, but I also delve into subjects like music and copyrights, film and copyrights, right? Trade law and intellectual property. So my basics are being expanded to an extent where tomorrow, if I become an intellectual property lawyer, I won't be restricted to just copyright, trademarks, and patents. But if I'm asked to do anything related to copyright, I'll be equipped to be able to handle such problems and help clients related to those problems.
So I didn't knew about this program a lot. But what is the eligibility criteria of this program if I wanted to pursue, or if someone wants to do it?
The basic eligibility is that you should have just had an LLB degree before that. So whether you have a 3-year LLB or you have a 5-year LLB, which includes a BCom, BBA or a BA LLB degree, you should have completed, passed and graduated from your LLB degree to be able to apply for an LLM.
And there is no percentile criteria or something like that, or you don't even need
There is a specific No, work experience is not mandatory. In fact, there are many LLM programs, and especially this particular one, which is with Upgrad, that you don't need to have work experience. If you finished your LLB degree, you can move on to your LLM degree. Even if there are multiple LLB degrees across colleges, where LLM degrees across colleges, where you don't need work experience. I, as a faculty and as an educator, encourage work experience because only when you worked in certain areas of law will you be a little more confident about the area you want to specialize in. So that is something I encourage undergrad students to kind of think about before they apply for an LLM degree, that you should know what you want to specialize in. So if you want to enter litigation, then do a bit of work ex in litigation to know, okay, then I can do an LLM in dispute resolution. Similarly for corporate, say I've worked for 2 years in corporate, but that's really not interested me. So I think maybe then I'll do an LLM in, let's say, intellectual property or artificial intelligence. So that work experience gives you an idea of what you want to do in the rest of your career. So that is encouraged but not mandatory. And certain colleges, I think, have different percentiles. It's not fixed for a specific organization or an institution. Those are usually found in the brochures, which students can easily access, but it's not a very high percentile that you require to enter an LLM program.
Great. So if is CLAT examination is mandatory for this program?
So again, that really depends on the institution, but usually it is, many colleges can have their own entrance examinations. Say, for example, in Jindal, we do the LSAT, and now we move to the LNAT. So it depends from college to college.
Okay, it depends on college to college. What are the
entry requirements?
Criteria. Okay, great. Yeah. So this is basically a blended learning program. So what is in there, and is it completely online? What is that? Please tell us.
So it's not entirely online. We do have a bunch of physical classes as per the requirements of the course, which are on campus, and we do encourage students to block their calendars to attend those physical classes, because those classes on campus really relate to legal research methodology, certain core subjects which will help them with their research, which will help them advance the LLM course with a lot of ease and smoothness. The blended aspect usually comes in terms of recorded lectures as well as live sessions. So while a majority of it is done through live sessions and recorded lectures, the physical classes are also a very large part of it. Now, the Upgrad platform is the platform on which students have access to the recorded lectures, and these lectures are all recorded by Jindal faculty, and then they have 4 live sessions per course within their specialization, which are held on weekends, because the blended program is specifically for working professionals. So we understand that there are multiple working professionals who want to further their career, who want to specialize in certain areas, who are looking for career growth as well, and they require an LLM for the same reason. Maybe it's a requirement from their organization or institution or a court that they may be working at, and they may not have the availability, they may not have the time, or they may not have the bandwidth to actually quit their jobs or take a sabbatical for a year or 2 years and then do a program and then go back to work. So we offer this program specifically for such professionals who don't have to quit their jobs, who don't have to let go of their day-to-day salary or day-to-day earnings, and they have the flexibility to watch the recordings, to attend the live sessions on weekends. We are very particular of our faculty holding all sessions on weekends, specifically Sundays, because Saturdays are usually working for some as well. And all the assessments, all the examinations are also quite flexible to the extent that they have a week or 10 days to be able to take that exam or to be able to write an assessment. So this blended aspect is specifically for this particular audience who we want to really encourage to further their career but not have to quit their job in the process.
So LLB is not your end goal. You can also pursue LLM program to upgrade your career, right? So there is, when it comes to talk about India, there is this BCI, Bar Council of India, which for any law related degree, you need this approval. So is this degree approved by BCI or is it valid in India?
Yes, the LLM blended program is absolutely valid. Students can take the NET exam after this. Students can pursue a PhD after it. The degree that we provide is an LLM degree under the OP Jindal Global University name. So there is absolutely no trouble in students pursuing this LLM program and furthering, their education or their career based on this particular degree.
So this is
In fact, we have
totally
multiple
approved.
professionals. Yeah, it's absolutely approved. Yeah.
Okay. So what all are the topics covered in this program?
So, like I said, we have within the upgrad Jindal LLM program, we have 4 specializations. The 4th specialization was actually added very recently, which is the AI and emerging technology specialization. So, I'll give you an example of one particular specialization and what are the kind of topics covered under it. And maybe I'll go with, let's say, dispute resolution, because many litigators, many district judges actually join this program. So, let's say dispute resolution is the actual specialization. And then we have 3 core modules, which all specializations have to do. So whether you're doing corporate and financial law, whether you're doing DR, whether you're doing IP, or whether you're doing AI, there are 3 core modules that all students have to study, which is legal research methodology, law and justice in a globalizing world, and comparative public law. Then comes your specific subjects for, let's say, if you've chosen dispute resolution. So in dispute resolution, we will have topics like commercial arbitration, principles and practice of arbitration, investment arbitration, negotiation and mediation, enforcement of arbitration award, ethical issues leading to ethical issues that may be involved in arbitration. Similarly for IP, like I shared, IP being the larger branch, and then you have courses like music and copyright, GDPR, international investment law and IP, TRIPS and public health, IP and new technology, artificial intelligence. So that's how it's usually divided per specialization.
Okay, great. So I would like to know about OP Jindal. Why a working professional should choose OP Jindal or LLM program?
So OP Jindal is currently ranked number 1 in the country and in the top 70 schools across the world. And one of the reasons for that is the faculty and the resources that OP Jindal actually has. So a large part of our faculty has at least one degree from abroad, which means that they have the best of both worlds. They've studied in India as well, and they've also got the exposure of a higher education abroad. That means that they have practical exposure, they have exposure to research, they've had exposure to certain tools, certain the way industries may work across the world, which offers that comparative sense, that comparative analysis, the ability to think, the ability to find solutions from both perspectives, India and international. So our faculty also, a large part of our faculty which is teaching the LLM blended program and the LLM program overall, are assistant professors and above who also have industry experience. So that industry experience does not limit you to theory and what's already in the book, but that industry experience helps students understand what is actually required currently to become a stronger lawyer, to have a greater career growth. It helps them understand how solutions are to be found in the real world beyond what they're just reading in books. And that also helps them with great networking, because these are people who worked in the industry, they have friends, they have connections. We organize a lot of guest lectures as part of, whether our program or on campus as well. We have many faculty organize at least one guest lecture per course, per semester. So that guest lecture also helps them gain an insight on as to what's happening in the market currently, what are the challenge, what is required of a lawyer at this point of time, what are the kind of openings that are there, how they need to really polish themselves as lawyers, and also it helps them form a great connection with that guest lecturer who may be a top leader in the industry. So I think that is one of the greatest strengths of OP Jindal University, and also of course the way the university functions. I think there's a lot of flexibility, there's a lot of openness to ideas, openness to structuring courses and curriculums. There's not a one step approach that each faculty follows to design a curriculum. They design it as per the students, they design it as per their industry experience, they design it as per what is required in the market right now. They design it to address challenges in the market. So it's a very well designed program per course, per faculty member. So that flexibility, I think, really helps students gauge a topic better, because then it's designed and tuned for them.
So is this also giving them practical knowledge? And And will someone gain exposure to the global legal ecosystem after
Absolutely, because
completing
there's a
this?
lot of Absolutely, because I think in most courses that are being taught within the blended program, there is usually comparative analysis that is done, that there is comparison done with the various jurisdictions. So we are not limited to just what's happening in India, but we're also exposing them to what's happening all over the world so that they can understand, how they need to kind of maybe strengthen what is happening already in India or learn from what's happening abroad as well. So the exposure is absolutely global.
Okay, so what is the fee structure of this program?
So I think the fee structure is something that they can write to the university to understand. I'll focus on the more non-technical aspects as part of this podcast.
Okay, so it is basically cost effective, right?
It is, absolutely. We have many students from all walks of life taking and studying this particular course. So it's not specific to just one particular class or one particular section of the population.
What are the career prospects after completing online LLM?
So when it comes to career prospects, there are two larger areas of how career prospects may work. One is in terms of your career growth. So when you've already studied the LLM, the LLB program, the purpose of an LLM program would be for growing in that particular field. So if you're, let's say, at a certain position in your law firm or in litigation, the LLM specializing in a particular area of law helps you grow in that particular field. And the second, one of the very important ways is also academia. So LLM really prepares you for the education industry. If you want to teach, if you want to become a lecturer, an assistant professor, professor tomorrow. So these are the two ways in which it will help you in terms of your career growth. One, in terms of specializing in a particular area, you're growing in the position that you already hold, whether in a law firm, litigation, in-house, whatever it may be, because you're specializing somewhere. And the second is to enter the academic field.
So what are the other advantages of pursuing this program?
I think these are the multiple advantages which I've already shared. Another one would be one thing that I really take back from the LLM program is the ability to write. I think Indian education system under prepares you to write properly, whether it's a research paper, whether it's answers, whether it's even a draft for a client. But an LLM actually equips you to write properly because that's the practical exposure you're getting. When you're writing your assignments, you're actually writing an advisory to a client sometimes. When you're writing a research paper, when you're writing your dissertation, most importantly, there's 8,000 to 10,000 words of writing that is being done, which really polishes your ability to communicate. So there are strong communication skills that you're also building through an LLM program, which equips you to communicate better with clients, to communicate better with seniors, to have the ability to research solutions. You're not limited to a book or just the internet, but really going deeper, reading articles. So the communication skills through writing and through reading and through researching are one of the greatest strengths of doing an LLM program.
Right.
It makes you a better lawyer. Yeah.
And you already have mentioned OP Jindal for the program, but can you name some of the universities from where one can pursue the program, or what are the factors one should look for before selecting a university?
So because I've also done my LLM at OP Jindal, so and I've done my undergrad from abroad, so I'm like a switch of how usually people do it.
Yeah.
So I think I don't have too much knowledge of other universities in India, but I can definitely tell you a couple of points to keep in mind while you're opting for an LLM program. One is the reputation of the university. I think because ultimately when you go for a job or a better position, the reputation of a university really matters. If the university has name, if the university has a good ranking, you have better prospects of getting a better job. The second is the faculty that's teaching. I think it's very important for students to research who is teaching them what. So looking at faculty profiles, understanding the kind of research that particular faculty does, whether they've published papers or not, have they really the kind of education they have received, their degrees. So I think researching into the faculty is very important. And the third, I think, would be the kind of structure and the kind of courses that are offered in a particular LLM program. I think that would be the third criteria to see which program suits you best, because there are many colleges which may offer a very generic course. It may be just an extension of the LLB, but to actually look for colleges and programs which deep dive into a particular specialization and offer you all the information and knowledge and learning that is available for that particular specialization, so that you have your money's worth and you have your time's worth. So I think these three things be my top criteria.
Okay, thanks for these factors. What are the top sectors one can pursue, one can get job after pursuing this program?
All of them, actually. In fact, one of the most upcoming is artificial intelligence. So let's say tech companies, once you've done an LLM in AI and emerging technologies, you can also now work in tech companies. And some of, the most emerging startups and companies are technology related. So that is one industry. You can enter anything related to IP. So whether that's the film industry, film and entertainment, music industry, the public health industry, because we are also teaching TRIPS and public health. When it comes to dispute resolution, you can enter litigation overall, arbitration, mediation. So those are areas that you can definitely find yourself in. And when it comes to corporate and financial law, you're entering any kind of financial institution. You can go in-house or you can work with a law firm. So every industry is actually open through these 4 specializations.
So we already talked about it is valid in India or not, but is it valid in abroad as well? And
so that actually depends from country to country. So let's say in the UK, while you may have studied in India, then you usually have to, and this is mostly common for most countries, is that you have to take certain qualifying exams over there, because every country's laws are different. So it is not that I just complete my LLM and I go work abroad. I need to take certain qualifying exams to be able to qualify for the bar there, and then I can start working there. But it's not that it's not recognized. It's absolutely recognized. But to become a lawyer in a country abroad, there are certain criteria that you have to meet, which may include a qualifying exam and taking the bar exam there as well.
I think one should understand the abroad or any country's law
structure.
Law structure. Yes.
And the qualification.
How much of a salary growth one can get after pursuing this program?
I think that's again I think that's again very, very technical. But like I said, there is always career growth. There's always a possibility of career growth. So when you specialize in something, you're always looked out for more. And if you looked out for more, you have the visibility in a firm, visibility in the place that you're working in. So I can't say for sure what the salary growth is, but what I can determine is that when there is career growth because of you having upskilled yourself in something, or specialized in something, then of course you're more needed. There's more visibility of you. So the growth is definitely there. But what salary is there, it depends from law firm to law firm and organization to organization.
So will the working professional or the student get career support from the university?
They can definitely write to us if they require, any kind of exposure, if they want to discuss anything with us. We, of course, as part of our program don't offer internships because, again, this is an LLM program and this is also largely catered to working professionals as well. So, a lot of them have already done their internships. They've already worked in certain areas. But we definitely offer help in whatever way they may need. So they can write to us if they require any help with their CVs or cover letters, or understanding the industry, or networking opportunities. As faculty, as course instructors, we'd be definitely happy to help them.
And does pursuing an LLM help with professional networking and connection in the legal field?
Yes, because you are already connected with experts in the field as part of the faculty. Then we have guest lecturers who are, already industry experts. They are working in top organizations. They're working in law firms. They're working in the court. They're working in-house. So you have the opportunity to also interact with them. And a lot of them are very, warm. They're very sincere. They're very earnest in helping, the students. So there's always an email ID that they leave. A large number of them definitely, are open to further communication with them. So they have the opportunity to network while they're a part of the program.
And let's say if we compare corporate law with litigation, what are the advantages?
Both have their advantages. I think it really depends on what one is interested in. Litigation is something that a lot of people are interested in because of the aspect of arguing in court, appearing in front of a court, the flexibility to form your own arguments, while corporate is largely a desk job. So I think it depends from person to person what they aim to kind of further their career in. If they prefer being in court, if they are the kinds who like to argue, if they're the kinds who like to form their own drafts, fight case by case basis, then litigation is for them. But if there are some who prefer a desk job, who prefer more transactional work, who prefer, client interaction in terms of agreements and transactions and mergers and things like that, then a corporate job is for them. But it's a very, very personal choice. It's not something that we impose on anybody as part of this program.
Okay, so at last, do you offer EMI facility? And what are the
Again,
top courses of this program?
So the EMI facility, they can check with Upgrad and Jindal. I think that would be the best route for them to check the brochure and write to them in case that's something they prefer. As faculty, I don't enter the numbers. But the top courses are actually the AI and emerging technologies, which has just been introduced. That's something that people are really interested in. Yeah. People are really, really interested in artificial intelligence because it's very upcoming, it's niche. People want to understand what's happening. The job prospects are large because AI is such an uncertain area in the world currently that if anyone is specializing in artificial intelligence, they have more growth opportunities, because then companies are just grabbing you that, okay, tell us what we need to do and tell us what we need to do.
Yeah,
So that's an incredible specialized.
I have heard this from many working professionals that whether you are in any field, any job field, you have to learn AI because they want you to use AI in their work.
Absolutely. Because every industry is grappling with the effects of AI, and no one is really aware of how to handle the effects of AI in a particular industry. So lawyers are really being chased to understand how to deal with the challenges that AI is bringing. Then of course dispute resolution is a very popular specialization within the LLM blended program. We have a lot of district judges, we have a lot of litigators, we have a lot of early career litigators who join dispute resolution because we focus a lot on arbitration. And again, like AI, arbitration is a largely upcoming and well established now, but also a very largely upcoming area within litigation. So to further their understanding, learning of arbitration, a lot of our litigators and high court, district court judges actually study the dispute resolution program.
So artificial intelligence and arbitration are the two areas.
Dispute resolution are the more popular ones. Yeah.
Okay. And one should start working on these in the next 10
years I think
or
AI
5 years.
AI is so interesting. Everyone should study AI now. I mean, we also have an AI course within intellectual property. So if there's an IP lawyer or someone who's interested in IP, they also have the ability to study aspects of AI within the specialization.
Well, amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much for this insightful session. And I really hope this will help a lot of working professionals and students. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
And again, I'm really sorry for the disruption.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's all technical. It happens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.